The Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth bearing the image of a crucified man. It measures approximately 4.4 meters in length and 1.1 meters in width. The image on the shroud is faint, but depicts a naked male figure. The image exhibits characteristics of a photographic negative. When photographed and viewed as a negative, the image reveals a detailed positive. A historical gap exists concerning the Shroud of Turin from the 1st to the 14th century. Some theories suggest the shroud may have been the image of Edessa or Mandylion. The Mandylion was a cloth revered in the Byzantine Empire, believed to bear Jesus' face. This theory suggests the shroud was folded to display only the face, but this connection is speculative. The Shroud of Turin first appeared in Liry, France, in 1354. Geoffroy de Charny, a French knight, possessed the shroud. De Charny displayed the shroud in a local church. He claimed it was the true burial shroud of Jesus Christ. The knight did not explain how he obtained the shroud. In 1389, Bishop Pierre d'Arcy declared the Shroud of Turin a forgery. The accusation was made in a memo to anti-Pope Clement VII. D'Arcy's claimed a previous bishop found the artist who painted the shroud. He alleged the shroud was a product of human cunning, not a holy relic. Despite the accusations, the Pope permitted the shroud's display as a representation, not the true shroud. The House of Savoy, an influential Italian royal family, obtained possession of the shroud. The Savoy family relocated the shroud to Chambéry, situated in the French Alps. This move was intended to provide a more secure location for the artifact. A dedicated chapel was constructed specifically to house and protect the shroud. The chapel served as a place for veneration and safekeeping of the relic. This marked a significant chapter in the shroud's history, linking it to the Savoy dynasty. In 1532, a fire erupted in the Chambéry chapel, endangering the Shroud of Turin. The shroud was stored in a silver casket, which melted during the fire. Molten silver dripped onto the folded shroud, causing symmetrical scorch marks. Nuns later patched the burn holes with distinctive triangular patches and doused the shroud with water, leaving stains. In 1578, the Savoy family shifted their capital to Turin, Italy. Accompanying this move, the shroud was also relocated to Turin. The shroud has been permanently housed in the Turin Cathedral since its arrival. It is preserved within a custom-built, bulletproof display case. The case also features climate control to maintain optimal preservation conditions. In 1978, the Shroud of Turin was subject to direct scientific testing. The Shroud of Turin Research Project, STURP, was granted access for 5 days. STURP comprised a team of American scientists. The team was granted unprecedented access to the shroud. STURP was not commissioned by the church. The team had no religious agenda, focusing solely on scientific inquiry. STURP scientists conducted a thorough investigation using various scientific methods. These methods included microscopy for detailed visual analysis. X-ray fluorescence was used to analyze the elemental composition of the image. Infrared spectroscopy was employed to identify any organic or inorganic compounds. The investigation found no evidence of pigments, paints, dyes, or stains in the image areas. Scientists concluded that the image was not a painting, and the color is located on the topmost fibrils of the threads. The image fibers exhibit chemical properties indicative of a chemical change. This change is similar to the oxidation of cellulose. Dehydration of the cellulose is also observed. The observed changes resemble a mild scorch. However, the fibers lack the fluorescence typically associated with heat-induced scorching. This absence suggests a different mechanism of chemical alteration. Analysis with a VP8 image analyzer reveals unique 3D information in the shroud's image. This 3D data is not typically found in standard photographs or paintings. The image's lightness and darkness correlate to the distance between the cloth and the body. Lighter areas indicate closer proximity between the cloth and the body's surface. Darker areas suggest a greater distance between the cloth and the body. This correlation implies that proximity played a significant role in the image formation process. The stains on the cloth were confirmed to be human blood. The blood type was identified as AB, a type common in the Middle East. Spectroscopic analysis detected hemoglobin, bilirubin, and albumin. Blood penetration occurred before image formation on the cloth. In 1988, samples from the shroud were taken with church authorization. These samples were designated for radiocarbon dating analysis. The samples were divided and dispatched to 3 separate laboratories. The laboratories were located at the University of Arizona. Additional testing occurred at Oxford University. Further analysis was conducted at ETH Zurich to ensure accuracy. Radiocarbon dating was conducted on the Shroud of Turin. The results were announced in 1989. The tests unanimously dated the linen flax to between 1260 and 1390 AD. This time frame places the shroud's origin in the medieval period. The dating results appeared to support claims of forgery. Critics questioned the shroud sample's location, citing frequent handling during exhibitions. The corner was also subject to repairs following a fire in 1532. This raised concerns about contamination affecting the radiocarbon dating results. Suggestions included the possibility of a later invisible reweave that could skew the dating. Radiocarbon dating is susceptible to environmental contamination. Carbon monoxide, CO, is a potential contaminant that can affect dating accuracy. Scientists propose that CO can bond with the material being tested, such as linen. This bonding may falsely indicate a more recent age than the sample's actual age. Therefore, CO contamination can compromise the reliability of radiocarbon dating results. Radiocarbon dating of the Shroud of Turin has faced challenges and alternative interpretations. Researcher Ray Rogers posited that the tested area differed chemically from the shroud's main fabric. Rogers suggested a medieval-era gum and dye coating altered the sample's composition. This coating, applied post-fire repairs, could have skewed the radiocarbon dating results. The Shroud of Turin's origin is debated, with some claiming it's a medieval forgery dating from 1260 to 1390. If a forgery, the technique used by the medieval artist remains unknown to modern science. Proposed forgery methods include early photography using a camera obscura and silver compounds. Another theory suggests a primitive form of radiography, but neither has substantial evidence. Traditional belief proposes a unique explanation for the image on the cloth. This explanation involves a burst of intense, short-duration radiation. The radiation is theorized to originate from a miraculous event at the moment of resurrection. This radiation scorched the image onto the cloth's surface. The image is superficial, non-fluorescent, and 3D encoded. The radiation theory could potentially explain these unique image characteristics. The Maillard reaction is a chemical reaction between amino acids and reducing sugars. A recent theory suggests that ammonia vapors from a body can react with carbohydrates on linen. This reaction could potentially create a colored image on the linen. The resulting image would have properties similar to those observed in certain historical artifacts. This process requires the body to be wrapped in the cloth for 1 to 2 days without significant decomposition. Skeptics consider carbon-14 dating as the definitive method for determining the shroud's age. This perspective leads them to view the shroud as a medieval artifact. They acknowledge the shroud's intricate craftsmanship and historical intrigue. However, skeptics maintain that the shroud is a human creation, not of divine origin. Carbon-14 dating results support the conclusion that the shroud originated in the medieval period. Therefore, skeptics see the shroud as a fascinating historical object rather than a religious relic. Some believers and scientists question the reliability or interpretation of carbon-14 dating results on the Shroud of Turin. Data from the Shroud of Turin Research Project, STURP, is cited as evidence supporting authenticity. Key observations include the absence of paint pigments and the presence of three-dimensional encoding in the image. Bloodstains on the cloth are interpreted as further indication that it was a burial shroud from the 1st century, potentially linked to the crucifixion. The image intensity on the shroud correlates with the proximity of the body to the cloth. This suggests the image formation mechanism was related to the distance between the body and the linen. Areas closer to the body exhibit a darker, more defined image. Conversely, areas farther from the body show a fainter image. The image darkness is inversely proportional to the distance from the body. This proximity-intensity relationship provides clues about the image formation process. Microscopic analysis reveals the shroud is composed of high-quality linen. The linen weave is typical of fabrics produced in the Middle East. The fabric's characteristics are consistent with 1st century production techniques. The specific weave pattern provides clues about the shroud's origin. Fiber characteristics also offer insights into the shroud's potential age. Material analysis contributes to understanding the shroud's historical context. Ongoing research aims to further explore the mysteries of the Shroud of Turin. Advanced imaging techniques are being employed to analyze the shroud's image in greater detail. Chemical analyses are conducted to understand the material composition and any potential residues. Historical studies seek to contextualize the shroud within its purported time period.